Aloha siblings, or maybe that's not the most appropriate greeting. I wasn't entirely honest with my previous video. I am in fact an extraterrestrial zoologist, and I am here to gather specimens to take back home. And I decided I was going to, make this video to share some preliminary thoughts I have about some notions I have developing a breeding program, specifically about Homo sapiens. I think that's the phrase you guys use to describe your particular species. So it's clear to me that I need an organism that can provide me with a viable egg. I'm not terribly picky about the morphology and physiology of the individual organism, just that it can supply me with a viable egg. Similarly, I need an organism that can provide a viable sperm. And again, it could have an arm growing out the top of its head for all I care. I mean, curiosity would make for a good zoo exhibit, right? I just need the organism to provide me with viable sperm. And then I'll need an organism with a uterus, right? So we can take the fertilized egg, put the egg and the sperm together, right? I get how that works, and put it in the uterus. And then the fertilized egg gestates into a human being, right? And the baby is born. Although I have observed that human babies are pretty worthless. They can't do much of anything for themselves. I mean, they can't even feed themselves, which brings me to the next thing. I need an organism that that has teats, the food bags for the babies, right? Now, I've observed that it is commonly the same organism that provides the egg, that provides the uterus, and provides the teats. However, it is not necessarily the case that it must be that. Although it is, worth noting, at least from my perspective, that it is just one sort of the population that is roughly half that gets sort of stuck with that bunch of responsibility as far as procreation goes. But even beyond the egg, gestation, sperm, teats, all of this, that there's a tremendous amount of investment in human children, because it takes them so long to grow to maturity, and they need a fair amount of education and enculturation. I mean, you guys have a completely very rich and robust set of complex behaviors, which is kind of what makes you interesting. But nonetheless, it's so you got to have a few organisms around to provide that kind of guidance to the young. So I don't know how many it will be ultimately, but I know I want to start with at least 4 organisms.